Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. We're back for another Marvel Rivals match. We did just play only yesterday, so getting me back here again for another one. Today we are playing against the University of North Georgia. This is a Peach Belt Conference match. I believe one of the last 3 in the season. This opponent here, North Georgia, is a scary one, folks. They are ranked number 1 right now, if I'm not mistaken, with an undefeated season so far. Colonels, of course, looking to end that here tonight. But it's going to be an uphill battle to make it happen. Colonels on the right side in red. Host is University of North Georgia. I see a lot of these bans and picks coming out here. Colonels opting to ban Hawkeye, seeing someone on their side who must just have some crazy aim. It might be this person named Sum up here. But we see a lock-in from Black Widow, which is not a hero we normally see. That means they've got some really powerful mechanical skill here on the side of North Georgia. Really no other reason they would lock in to something like that. Colonel's able to secure the Namor and the Magneto for Carp and Big Soup, respectively. And banning Luna, that's a very popular support pick for most other teams. But for the Colonels, we're just trying to deny that from them. Some of the utility they provide. Our supports generally like to play, some combination of Cloak and Dagger, Invisible Woman, and Rocket.
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
You're a shooter like me.
All right. J Freak here on the Rocket Raccoon. Blue Ibis on the Cloak and Dagger here. That's going to be the sup lineup for the Colonels here. Powers starting out on tank. Be a 2-tank lineup here. Powers and Big Soup. Carp on the Punisher. He's a hero that got banned a lot for center in the last game, but we're excited to see it here.
You know your soldiers won't fight. Battlefield ready again.
There you are. Thanks for the boost.
Powers pushing in, drawing some attention here, able to get out safe. 163 health. Ooh, but they're pushing in on him. This could be a pretty scary spot to be. Able to still receive some heals here, but you know this is scary. Carp with an opening pick though. That's going to take out Quad Squad, the Venom from University of North Georgia. But with Star Garden falling here, it's going to be very hard for the Colonels to follow up on this. Jay Freak though with an excellent res. That's just a beautiful piece of utility for Rocket, who's able to kind of deny the opening pick in a fight like this, but they're going to get their respawn in here soon. Carp going down, and Colonels, despite getting a pick here, weren't really able to convert this into anything other than some nice ult charge. They are going to have sup ults here in the next fight before University of North Georgia. But these DPS ults for UNG could come out soon. Colonels getting held all the way in their spawn here. Big Fish comes out first from Vils. Doesn't get anyone, but this means the Colonels are not on site. Nearly getting a pick onto that Thor, but Carp unfortunately falling to the Namor. Powers just looking to get in here alive. Colonel's going to regroup in the spawn. Ult here right in the Colonel's spawn, able to take that out, but it's all serving UNG's ultimate goal of denying the Colonels from walking forward and touching that site here. Meanwhile, the clock's just ticking up. Doc TTV, the Thor here from UNG, doing huge damage into center, but 0 ults available here for UNG. The Colonels need to make something happen here. This is really their only opportunity. Starguarding starting things off with an ult here. Powers able to do some big damage, wants to secure a pick onto the sup, but unfortunately Jay Freak falling to the Hela. The Colonels don't have the opportunity to touch here. There have been times where Colonels are having a opportunity to use these ults here, but there's just so much mechanical skill here on the DPS lineup for UNG. You know, even the slightest bit of misposition means Colonel's getting called out and sent back to the spawn room. And center knows this. They're respecting that pressure, which means they don't have a lot of opportunities to actually, push ahead. Still good plays there, but wasn't really ever able to hold space on the point.
One day, I will get even.
And they used all their ults in that fight. We're going to see a couple, 0% here. Big Soup, the only one in the lobby with one to start things off, but a couple pretty close will be charged in this opening fight here for UNG. And Big Soup's ult, a very impactful one, but often a reactive one. Stargarden here swapping over to the Magic, favorite of theirs. Unfortunately, Colonel's getting dove. A Venom and a Hela, able to put some pressure on them. As much as Powers can do his own version of a dive, not a whole lot can be done with the rest of the team getting taken out early. positioning from an alt usage here. Gonna pop it around the corner. Most of that damage is going into the rocket alt and going into the venom here. They're immediately getting out of LOS, but unexpected here. Vils falls to that. Fortunately, with the rocket res station, Vils is going to come back alive here. Carp able to do pretty big damage into a tank with that shotgun, but there's just too much pressure here. Ult comes out from Vils. That's likely going to take out Powers. Actually makes it out alive. Jay Freak falling, unfortunately, here, though. 38% on the site for UNG right now. Still stuck roughly outside the spawn here. Again, folks, this is the top team in the Peach Belt Conference right now. Totally undefeated, so we're expecting a hard fight here, but maybe we can turn things around with this ult from Blue Ibis. It's going to give Colonels a little bit of space to walk up here, but they need a pick. Unfortunately, this Hela here is just hitting shot after shot. It's going to take out Blue Ibis, Star Garden, and some more. Powers is, you know, playing his own little mini game here on site. Is nice to be able to do any pressure at all, but might just need to go back to the spawn room here. It's not going to proc overtime. It's too far away from that 100%. But someone from the Colonels is going to have to make a dash to touch here. Looks like it's Powers back here on site. Doing good pressure, but it's ultimately alone. Star Garden with an ult here, but the rest of the team has fallen already. It's not going to be enough, and that's going to be 100% to 0 here. UNG over center on both rounds of this opening match. Hela, that's some from UNG going absolutely crazy here. We might see that come out as a ban from the Colonels going into the next one. Doing the most damage, doing 30 elims. Which is absolutely outrageous. 4-piece, 19 final hits. And interestingly, I don't think UNG even protected that Hela when they were... you know, doing the picks and bans. Yeah, no, they didn't. They Colonels banned the Hawkeye and they picked the Black Widow. But I have to assume these are all for the same player here. Some who just clearly can click these heads. Colonels now get pick of map, and it looks like they're opting for Clintar Symbiotic Surface. I wish this game had better names for their maps, because that's quite a mouthful. But yeah, we're going to Clintar's Symbiotic Surface. See if there's any way in which this map is better serving the Colonel's game plan. Alrighty, map number 2, bans, starting here. Colonels on the right side have the opportunity to ban first. They're going to ban the Hawkeye again. Now in this snaking pattern, we're going to see a ban and a pick here. Ban of Emma. That is a favorite of Big Soup, so that is unfortunate. And they lock in the Hela. This is kind of a gamble from the Colonels here to have still locked that Hawkeye in first. or ban that Hawkeye first, knowing that they might choose to pick Hela this time, and of course they did. Pick is going to be the Invisible Woman, and a ban here from the Colonels onto Namor. Now that's a really interesting one, since that's a favorite of Carp. So they're really hoping that a Punisher is not banned over here. Magic gets banned. That's a favorite of Stargarden. Stargarden's got some deep pockets, so it's gonna work out. Now one more pick for them. A Moon Knight. Interesting. One more ban for center here, and they are using it on Venom. Quite interesting to see two of center's bans being heroes they used in the last match, but UNG, in center's opinion here, used them better. So the Colonels just want to go ahead and take these ones off the table as tools. We're going to see two annoying, feels like a value judgment, but often difficult to overcome tanks here in Groot and Penny for UNG here. These are going to be able to, you know, just hold so much space and kind of construct the battle in the way that suits them best with their like deployables. Groot having those walls can separate center's team and deny their sight lines.
Stay strong.
If you step out of line, Mr. Bonds, I will not hesitate.
Powers here is going to swap over to the Wolverine.
Then I guess it's a good thing I only need one arm to take you out.
Hopefully going to do some big pressure into tanks.
The battle starts in
Interesting
5,
sup lineup here from UNG
3,
in Rocket and Jeff. Both can hang on Groot's shoulders and are known for just being a couple of cute little dudes. Some people call that comp Animal Crossing. Stargarden here on the Bucky. And some opening pressure with that Groot here. Powers going to get the kidnap onto this Groot. They need to deny sight lines here from the subs. Unfortunately, first pick's going to come out. That's onto Stargarden. No one wants to peek some on that Hela for more than a couple seconds. It's a recipe to lose one's head. Hela falling for UNG. That's Carp taking out that pick, but unfortunately there is a res here. That is something that just makes this such a difficult time for the Colonels. When they're finally able to get a pick, it just gets denied from that Rocket. Colonels playing one of these, you know, pokier kind of play styles here makes it really difficult for them to get more than one pick at once. Folks are pretty pushed up here for UNG. Colonels wants to kind of punish this aggression. They have some folks hanging out still in spawn. Carp can push in with this ult, try and make that happen. Doing huge pressure into the Hela ultimate here. And she gets taken out, but Carp falls in the process. Colonels are going to use this as an opportunity to try and push up, take out that utility from the Penny and the Rocket. Yeah, all these deployables here for UNG. So in addition to these, like, you know, regular health bars, Colonels are having to break all this extra stuff that's just been littered on the map.
Battlefield ready again.
Powers over to Moon Knight. This can punish when a team is standing a little too close together. struggling into the Iron Man. Iron Man, a tricky one for the Colonels to contend with on something like Moon Knight. Star Garden can do good pressure into it, but there's just so much support available from the backline of UNG, and they're doing such an excellent job maneuvering in and out of cover. Large ult here from Powers. Defensive utility coming out to try and save. Oh my goodness. Big meatball from Big Soup onto the Iron Man right in the middle of the sky here, but the rest of the Colonels falling in this fight. Again, this is the constant struggle. Colonels can occasionally get one pick, but they need full team wipes. And if they get a pick, you know, it's like at what cost if the rest of the team is put in an unfortunate spot for it. Another big ult here from Powers. Powers able to do so much damage with it, but is going to get taken out. Star Garden with a nice pick. Colonels finally finding this opportunity to push up, but there's only 8 seconds on the clock. We're wondering who is going to have the actual touch here. And a Jeff ultimate is likely going to come out here pretty soon for UNG. Thankfully, Big Soup going to take him out. Early ult here from Blue Ibis to go ahead and deny some space. Colonels needs to get this up here 100%. A portal comes in, wants to get a pick onto that rocket. Rocket ult down. No ults here for the Colonels. Some taking out Carp. J Freak with an important ult here, but that Jeff swallows a lot from center. And with this portal out, you know, these kills that the Colonels got essentially don't last very long when that respawn is right by the portal.
The current score is 0.
But quite impressive here from center to just in those final 8 seconds actually get nearly 100% of the capture progress. Obviously, they don't get to go to the second part of the map with the convoy, but still quite good to see. This means, you know, that it's not the bare minimum for what the win condition for UNG is here. Colonels swapping over to the defense. This is going to mean they need several minutes of near perfection here. They cannot get team wiped, or it's going to be really easy for UNG to, you know, find themselves to that 92.5% on that first point. 4 minutes here.
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
Powers on the Punisher and Carp on the Hela. So center running double hit scan here. We often see Carp on the Punisher here.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
Unfortunate early pick here. They use that Black Widow here from UNG and a Spider-Man that's already in position to try and assassinate another one. So they're going to go ahead and push in far before center is going to get this respawn for Powers. Another one falls in Carp, and these are happening not in relatively quick succession, but enough that there's kind of a stagger component to this too. So as center's reinforcements come in, you know, Star Garden is likely going to be able to touch here, but that's going to be about it. It's going to be really hard for center to, you know, like charge an ult or actually have a full team fight here, and that is going to be
1,
it.
2, 0.
They tick up to that 93% that they needed. Game number 2 also going to UNG. Backs against the wall now. Colonels have this last chance. Some here once again with the MVP. Playing mostly Hela in this game and finishing on the Black Widow. Huge damage, huge final hits. On the Colonels, we see Star Garden leading in elims with 8, but final hits actually going to Carp with 4. Blue Ibis with 10 assists. We're looking to figure out our last map here. I don't want to say last map. What could be the last map here for the Colonels? They are going to select Eagard Yggdrasil Path. Another mouthful of a map. This should be a convoy type. Alrighty, loading in here. It's going to be tricky as we get here into the bans. You know, the Colonels are going to have an opportunity to do a ban before they get a pick, but it's so difficult with a player like Sum. They cannot ban every tool that they are going to be good with. They need to ban the Hawkeye, the Hela, the Black Widow, and, you know, a bunch of other hit scan heroes that are going to be just devastating for them. We see another ban of Emma into center. We'll see who they pick. It's almost certainly, if I had to guess, going to be a DPS, and naturally it is. They are locking in that Hela once again. See a pick onto Hulk for center. Not something I would have expected. Another ban available for the Colonels here. They're going to ban the Storm. So they're having trouble against the DPS lineup, both in terms of hit scan and some of these flyers. Black Widow locked in. So 2 of these hit scan DPS heroes available for UNG. Spider-Man locked in for center. You might see that from Star Garden or perhaps Powers. And Namor banned from center as well. And finally, we're going to see a ban onto Wolverine, which was a tool that was being used by Powers earlier. Now Center may be looking to run a version of that Animal Crossing comp from earlier. Might see the same thing from UNG. Have some actually running the Rocket here. 0 DPS here from UNG, which is quite surprising. It makes some sense. Some version of Goats is often pretty effective on these convoy type maps. Carp on the Hulk. Big Soup here on the, I want to say it's Angela? That sounds right. She's new. I don't know her name that well. Stargarden doing a fun little dance. Getting some intel on the opponents here. They team up between Hulk and BP. Something Center is wanting to take advantage of here. Playing into a Penny and a Groot again, though. It's not what we want to see. Powers with an opening pick here for the Colonels, of course, gets denied by that Rocket Res. Powers falling as well. And, no Rocket in sight for the Colonels. J-Freak actually running the Cloak and Dagger here. Carp lining up for another dive here, but with 3 supports, you know, they have so much that they're able to do to heal one another. But it's enough for Powers to find an opening here. That's probably going to be his death, though. Bills with a pick as well. Big Soup on the Angela, trying to kidnap that Groot here. But again, some effective support is there to mitigate, and with 3 subs here for UNG, it's really quite difficult for you to do a whole lot into this. And you know, UNG, they're here on the defense. Something like this Goats comp is just so effective. All they have to do is stay alive, and that's all this comp really does. He can just sustain through anything. Ibis looking for Jeff ult, but gets taken out. Colonel's still stuck in the spawn here against this #1 seed of the Peach Belt Conference. Fully held up here in the spawn. Going behind the opponents here. Another attempt here from Carp, but they're able to back up pretty effectively, deny most of that damage. Now he's stuck here in the ult from their support. Go into Baby Porn, quickly taken out. Colonels are finding opportunities to get ults here, but they're not getting the picks from them that they need. A lot of them are not these incredibly powerful ults in terms of just getting an instant kill either. Now 18 seconds left. Ults coming out to try and stop the Colonels right here and now. J-Freak, though, is going to have an ult that can carve out some space for the Colonels here on the Cloak and Dagger. And then looking for something to try and take out this rocket. But a sup ult available here for UNG. They are able to use that to great effect. Quad Squad taking out Star Garden. Quick swap here to the Black Widow from Carp. It's a latch ditch play to try and get a pick here. It's the end of that first round, and Colonels held in what is essentially their spawn for the entire 4 minutes. Only 1.1 meters need to be pushed by UNG, and that's something they can do quite easily. Even just a single team fight win or just some good CC. Colonel's now running their own version of a GOATS comp here. 3 tanks, 3 supports.
Doctor Strange, wow.
We're in this together, Tandy
Doc
boy.
Doc
Get the stars out of
is
your
here
eyes and
on the
let us
Black
fight.
Widow for UNG. This is going to give them an opportunity to try and get an opening pick.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Big Soup with an opening pick, though, with the mines on Penny. Looking to pick up a second one onto Trixman. This is tricky without many places for cover, having to hold this far up. Big Soup with a second pick here on the Penny, taking out Quad Squad. Both teams showing their proficiency with GOATs on the defense here. Ooh, quite scary looking here for a second for Blue Ibis. Doc Doc taking out one of centers, but Carp's getting that revive on the rocket. J-Freak looking for something on this Black Panther here. Is getting forced out. 2 dying here. Carp still alive here on the rocket, but that's going to be the only support left. Star Garden getting a pick with the Strange, which really isn't going to be able to portal any teammates. Finally falling there. Powers dies last, and there's no way for the Colonels to get here, but actually quite an impressive hold given that the distance to go was only 1.1 meters. That is going to wrap up the game, though. 3-0 win for UNG over Center. Again, folks, this is the #1 seed in the conference, so just statistically speaking, the expected result, but still some nice moments for the Colonels in what was always going to be an uphill battle here. GG's to UNG. Check out the scoreboard here. Vils now with the MVP, doing quite an even mix of damage and heals. UNG and Center both changing their comp quite substantially on the offense versus the defense. Not a particularly long game, so some of these score lines aren't such big numbers, but Doc Doc with 17 aliens and 8 final hits, certainly leading the packs in terms of kills. For our Colonels here, we see some high damage mitigation stats, but that kind of just means that we got shot a lot. So not necessarily what you want to see. Is what it is. Sometimes the games are hard. We'll see 2, hopefully more competitive ones coming up here soon as we take on Lander and Huntingdon. So For now, thank you so much for watching. I hope you tune into our other matches soon, and take care.